last episode, I told you that we were going to start a series called KISS. Not Keep It Simple Stupid, like my professor put on my paper, but Keep It Simple Saints. That's kind of my mantra for this year, simplifying things and getting back to basics. So I was thinking about when I was in high school and I took a shop class. That's right, I was the girl who took shop. And we were building a birdhouse. And the one instruction that the teacher emphasized more than anything, because there were slats that made the roof, was always go back to the original template to measure each of your slats. Don't measure them by the last one you cut, or you will imperceptibly get off and the roof will be crooked. It was real obvious at the end of the class, the people who had listened and the people who didn't. I'm going to let you guess which group I was in. But I was thinking about this whole experience in terms of our relationship to God. Sometimes we measure it by other people's experiences, something we read, something we hear, and all of those things can feed into our life. But going back to the original template is always the best thing to do. The original template, the Garden of Eden. That was the perfect relationship between God and Adam and Eve. And you see God's nature in the Garden of Eden, that God is a giver of blessing. He gave Adam and Eve a perfect ecosystem and environment to enjoy. He gave them animals to be in dominion over and to name. And he walked with them in the cool of the evening, and he poured his love into them. God is love, and the nature of love is to give. We find this in one of the most famous verses in the Bible. For God so loved the world, he gave his only begotten Son. So the original template, God is the giver. Adam and Eve, you and I, as children of God, we're vessels. We were created to be vessels to receive the blessing of God. And when we veer from that template, we confuse the relationship. God is good, God is love, God is a blesser. We are receivers of God's blessings. And then the perfect circle of life, Revelation 4 and 5 tells us, we were created to be worshipers. When the blessings pour in, the worship to God goes back. And so the perfect original template is in operation. And even though sin has messed up that perfect environment of Eden, we can still have that relationship with God when we look at him as the giver of blessings and when we see ourselves as the vessels to receive. Now the question is, when the vessel gets full, what happens? Stay tuned and come back for the next episode, because I'm going to talk about how to simply deal with the overflow of God's blessings. Thanks for watching my video. I hope you're teased by it, and I hope you're going to come back and you're going to journey with me on this quest for simplicity. Unlike my professor in college, I'm not calling this series Keep It Simple Stupid, but let's elevate it a little bit. How about Keep It Simple Saints? We're going to simplify serving the Lord and bring joy back to the journey. I'm going to ask you to subscribe to my YouTube channel, and please leave me a comment. If there is something that's confusing to you, if there's something that's kept you from even being a follower of Christ, leave me a comment. I'm not afraid to tackle anything that you're thinking, because together we're going to figure out some spiritual life hacks.